Thank you, Doc. We're back. Boogaloo Bob Smiler. Our next guest. Bob Smith created and hosted Howdy Doody, which was one of the most popular children's shows of all on television, and the show was off the air for 16 years and has finally reemerged as the new Howdy Doody show, and it's going to be shown all over the country. Would you welcome its creator, Buffalo Bob Smith? How are you, Bob? Yes, put some strings on him, and you look sensational.
Feel great, Johnny.
Howdy's older than you are. I mean, you look in sensational shape.
Howdy has real hair now.
Yeah, anybody, I know you're going all over the country in colleges, and all the kids who are in colleges now, I suppose most of them, and even older, grew up, didn't they, as little, very small youngsters.
That's what we call the alumni, Johnny.
That's the alumni.
That's the Howdy Doody alumni. That's right.
That's got to be strange to see kids who were in that audience now grown up. They were 4 or 5 years old and older, I guess now.
That's right. On our new show, see, when we did the show originally, we had 40 kids in the gallery.
In the peanut gallery.
That's right. Now we have 400. And we have the alumni and their kids and their parents, because the parents sat with them when they were kids.
That's funny.
So it's a whole family show now, and we're just having a great time taping it. We're on in every major market in the United States.
How long was Howdy on the air?
Howdy was on the air from 47 to 60.
Right.
Got to look like a steady job there for a while. And then we sort of, thought, well, that was a great run. Everything is fine. So we all went into our various walks of life. And I had a couple of key people that I didn't want to lose, so I bought a liquor store.
See, Ed, there's hope yet.
See, Ed? Incidentally, I don't know whether I like your taking off Buffalo Bob when you do your Sheriff John.
Oh, really? Is it the kiddie show with a hangover? Did you ever do one of those? I do a thing in my nightclub act, which is a fellow doing a children's show the night after he's been out all night the night before, and these children are screaming at him.
It's marvelous.
Because that happened to me once in Omaha when I did a kiddie show. Did you ever do one where you'd been out? Now, let's be honest.
No, we were on at 5:30 in the evening, so you'd get rid of anything by that.
I guess you're right.
I mean, we did.
Because that has happened to guys doing the kiddie show, and it's a long day, I'll tell you.
You better believe it. It's awful. It'd be nice to have some kid say, Buffalo Bob, you smell like my daddy does when my mommy says he's drunk. So I avoided that.
Is the nostalgia, is it really revived? It's funny how things go in cycles.
Yeah, I went off the air in 60. Everybody was happy. I bought the boozery. Oh, and incidentally, I learned something in the whiskey business. If a guy ever comes in for a bottle of cold champagne at 8 o'clock at night, and then his wife comes in the next day, don't say,
how was the...
Hello, Mrs. Murray, how was the champagne last? You don't do that.
That's bad.
You learn that.
It's like sending out notice from the hotel. We hope you and your wife enjoy our wonderful hotel here, and all of a sudden, nobody was there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think kids today are more sophisticated than they were? I imagine so, because television has done that in a way. Kids are certainly exposed to much more on the medium now.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Johnny, really, I think kids are kids, honestly.
No.
I know that, we did, after the college circuit, we were asked to do shows for fairs and the big shopping complexes. And then I couldn't do the same nostalgia show that I did for college students, where I worked all alone. What I would do is bring Clarabelle with me.
Clarabelle's still going to be on the show?
Oh, Clarabelle is great. Lou Anderson, one of Doc's buddies over there. And Lou Anderson is still our Clarabelle. He's been with us since '54. Lou and Milt Neal, the fellow who created our characters. We have a show for the malls. Mm-hmm. And we have learned that the kids laugh exactly at the same things they last 25 years ago.
At that age, I suppose so.
Kids like basic slapstick. They like fantasy. And that's what Howdy Doody set out to be and to do. We have a great writer, and Willie Gilbert, the fellow who wrote How to Succeed in Business Without Even Trying. And
Let me
Bobby
ask you this.
Nicholson.
Of course, you're on tape now with the new shows, I would assume. Mm-hmm. But in those days, everything was live. Mm-hmm. The show was put on live, and usually Kinescope later for maybe the West Coast.
Yeah.
And all of us, during those early days of television, have had strange experiences doing live shows, because there was no retake.
Exactly.
Did you ever have any ones that caused you some anxious moments?
Yeah, a couple of them. Some that we can tell and some that we cannot tell. So first I'll tell the one I can tell, and then I'll tell the one I
Okay,
cannot.
right.
Okay.
Prepare them.
I guess the hardest I ever laughed, Johnny, was it was a Halloween night in the early 50s. We always had an old-time movie in the middle of the show. That's the way we timed the show. See, we'd go into an old-time movie and then get off before we had to leave the air. So Halloween night, and we have the whole set decorated with pumpkins and black cats and witches and whatever. And during the old-time movie, we'd turn the lights down, cool down the studio, and Doc Whipple, our organist, would play appropriate background music. The rest of the gang would stand around and watch the movie. So I'm telling about this fellow who was asleep all the time. His name was Rip Van Winkle. So I'm seated at the peanut gallery, big boom microphone on me. And while I'm telling about old Rip, a little kid sneaked out of the gallery and tugged on my pant leg. And I said, "What do you want, sonny?" And he says, "Buffalo Bob, I got a tinkle."
That's why you're on the air.
Yeah. And obviously I can't go tinkling with the kid.
That's right.
So I pointed over to one of the cameramen, thinking he might get himself a tinkle partner, you know. Well, in the same direction that I was pointing was our puppet stage. And in front of the puppet stage was a lighted pumpkin about this big on the floor. So I guess the little kid thought I was pointing toward the pumpkin because he proceeded to go over and put out the candle. Now, the funniest part of the whole story is that the 12 or 13 million people who were watching never knew what happened. Here they're watching
this tremendous roar.
Yeah, they're watching a show about a guy who was asleep all the time. Nothing funny to laugh at all. All of a sudden, everybody is hysterical. Movie's over. Buffalo Bob is gone. Never did come back till the next night. I just crept right off to the stage. Well, Dayton Allen was one of our puppeteers.
Crazy Dayton.
Crazy Dayton was up on the puppet bridge, and he had enough composure to come down, finish the narration on the film, say goodnight to the kids, and the phones and the mail that we got. Look, let us in on the big secret. What was so funny in the Howdy Doody show? So we composed a poem that we sent out to all these people. It said, "So many of you ask what happened on the night of Halloween when everyone was hysterical and Buffalo Bob had to leave the scene. It was during an old-time movie about a man named Rip Van Winkle when a little boy from the gallery told Bob that he had to tinkle. Well, Buffalo Bob couldn't take him, so he pointed to someone who could, but the little kid didn't follow directions. He just walked to a pumpkin and stood. Well, the rest of the story is obvious, and we didn't need a mop because our little kid had great aim and never spilled a drop." Now,
That was it. Live television had its moments.
It sure did.
Live television had some great moments. Some of them are horrendous at the times, but in retrospect, they're all pretty funny.
They sure were.
Let me take a short break here. You going to do something for us, Adele, with the old nostalgic thing tonight to get us back in the mood?
Love to, Johnny.
Great. We'll take a break. We're coming right back.
Thank
Stay
you.
where you are.
Children, what is that?
A Gorgosaurus.
What makes some children more eager to learn? Part of the answer could be a good breakfast. The Iowa Breakfast Study shows students who eat a good breakfast have a better attitude towards schoolwork. And most children love to start breakfast with Tang instant breakfast drink. Tang has a full-day supply of vitamin C, and it's delicious. Get your child off to a good start with a nutritious breakfast and Tang.
How'd you like to have that for breakfast?
Hamburger and Gaines Top Choice Chop Burger for dogs. Sometimes it's hard to see which is which. Top Choice not only looks like hamburger, it's so moist and meaty it even holds together like hamburger. But it's better for your dog because it has what he needs for complete nutrition. Top Choice, original and country style with a taste of cheese and egg. For dogs who love hamburger, they're better for them.
We're getting a piano set, and we're talking with Buffalo Bob Smith. You're doing the show now on Fort Lauderdale, I know, because I see our good friend Jack Drury escorted you up here.
Jackson?
Who was working with you on the project. You're also doing Donnie Marie coming up?
Yeah, they're doing a unique thing, the Hall of Fame of Television. And Peter Lynn is going to be or Paul Lynn, rather, is going to be the man who's going to take everybody, and he's the guide to take people around. And on the show, they're going to have Dean Martin's glass. And
Mementos.
Jackie Gleason's cup. And Groucho Marx and Lauren Green and James Arness and Arthur Godfrey and Art Linkletter and George Goebel and Lassie.
Just a few people.
And Howdy Doody and Buffalo Bob.
Yeah, that's super.
So I'm really thrilled.
Well, we got a peanut gallery of 500 people here. If you want to use them, we got a piano. They're yours.
Oh, John, I'd love to.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Growing up peanut gallery.
Well, I must say to my Howdy Doody alumni that for a lot of you people, I would say that probably some of the happiest years of your lives was when you were from, say, 2 to 7. You'd sit on the floor, you'd watch television. You were in seventh heaven. Some days you'd start watching at dawn when the American flag would unfurl. And they couldn't get you to bed until 9 o'clock. That was after Milton Berle. Oh, we're the men from Texaco. We work from Maine to Mexico. We're always busy servicing your cars. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Television, Milton Berle. I swear I'll kill you 1,000,000 times. But, ladies and gentlemen, there's just one place for me, ladies and gentlemen, and that's near you. You watch The Merry Mailman, Houdini, Lucky Pup. You even attended a romper room party. And they couldn't tear you away from the set when the movie was Laurel and Hardy. And you remember Hopalong Cassidy, the cowboy star? There was also Soupy Sales. And do you recall how Roy Rogers and Dale would sign off with Happy Trails? Come on. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Happy trails to you till we meet again. You watch Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, and George Reeves as Superman, and old Gabby Hayes would say, "Stand back, buckaroos," as you shot puffweed out of a cannon. Let's see, there was Andy Devine, Froggy the Gremlin, in those years that were carefree and mellow. And you were a fan of the Mickey Mouse Club with cute young Annette Funicello. Come on. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S. And there was Claude Kirshner in Super Circus. And while you watched him crack the whip, your daddy was watching Mary Hartline because her costume stopped at the hip. You asked him. There was Winky Dink. There was Rough and Ready. And Bugs Bunny. And Felix the Cat. And a little man named Pinky Lee with his lisp and his checkered hat. Ho, ho, hee, hee, my name is Pinky Lee. La, 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 la. Everybody, la, 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 la. Come on now, la, 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 la. You got the cutest little la-la. I'm as happy as can be. Old favorites like Captain Kangaroo, Captain Video, Rudy Kazootie. But every night at 5:30, gang, what did we watch? Howdy Doody, let's go. It's Howdy Doody time. Do it again. It's Howdy. Bob Smith and Howdy too. Bob Smith and say howdy do to you. Say howdy. Let's give a rousing cheer. Let's give a rousing. 'Cause Howdy Doody's here. 'Cause howdy. It's time to start the show. So, kids. Oh, you're a great gallery, and thank you all very much, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
They told me to.
Yeah. I had a great finish for you, too. But I thought we'd let that go. Oh, yeah, I get involved in those things. Gabby Hayes.
Oh, you Roy Rogers Rangers.
Oh, Roy, I like him.
Wonderful guy.
Who bakes in your house? Everybody should.
Watch this from Pilton. That's not good. Pilton.